Hello everyone, welcome to the Film Recaps, and today I'm going to explain a science fiction action film called Free Guy. Be ready for some spoilers ahead. In Free City, which is essentially an open-world tabletop video game similar to GTA, players can engage in thrilling missions like bank heists to earn money and upgrade their level. The most powerful characters in the game are the ones wearing sunglasses, as they are controlled by real players. To enhance the game's story, the developer created non-playable characters, or NPC, who follow daily schedules, act independently of the players, and cannot die. Among the many non-playable characters, Guy is a bank teller who doesn't realize that his world is a video game. He spends most of his time with his best friend Buddy, who works as a security guard at the bank. The duo works at a bank that is regularly robbed by real players, forcing them to play the role of helpless bank employees during these robberies. On the other side of the game, there is a sunglasses character called Molotov Girl, who is making a deal with another player for a coordinate of a safe house that keeps a video that contains top-secret information. Later, while Guy and Buddy are heading home, they unexpectedly cross paths with Molotov Girl. Guy is surprised when she sings a song he believes his dream girl would love. He comments on the song, which surprises Molotov Girl, as NPCs typically repeat set phrases. Consequently, Guy begins to deviate from his programming and follows where the Molotov Girl goes. Unfortunately, he is hit by a train, sending him back home and forcing him to repeat his dull daily routine. The next day, when a robbery takes place at the bank, Guy sees Molotov Girl again and begins to rebel against the robber. He fights back and manages to snatch the sunglasses from the robber. Upon putting them on, he discovers various game features that are typically visible only to real players. He picks up health boxes to heal himself and can now steal money from other players when they die. In the real world, Keys and Mouser, who work at Tsunami, a company that runs Free City, detect Guy's weird activities and suspect that he is a hacker who uses NPC skin to take down other players. To resolve the problem, they decide to go into the game as their avatars to confront Guy. Thanks to the sneakers and the sunglasses, he manages to escape, but the pursuers continue chasing him. The guy tries to flee by grabbing onto a wrecking ball, but he misses and falls. Fortunately, he manages to save himself with a bubble suit. However, the employees find him and hit him with a police car, believing they have taken the hacker out for good, but Guy comes back to life. Keys feels something strange, as the number of online players did not change even after they killed him, indicating that it wasn't a hacker. Subsequently, Millie sneaks into Keys' house and watches an interview from years ago that reveals the two of them are the masterminds behind Free City. Before Antoine, the owner of Tsunami Company, stole their original code from life itself, game developed by Keys and Millie, and used that code to build the Free City franchises. Millie asks Keys for help in obtaining evidence of Antoine's crimes, knowing that she has hidden the codes to their stolen game. Surprisingly, Millie is the actress behind Molotov Girl character, and she infiltrates near the safe house. Suddenly, Guy approaches her, causing the guards to see them and start shooting, forcing them to flee. Guy offers to help her with the mission, but it seems impossible since he's only level 1 while she's already at level 195. He begins to take on missions with determination, performs several heroic deeds, such as returning stolen money and rescuing hostages from criminals, eventually raising his level to 102. Because of his unique actions, real-life players begin to notice him, and Guy quickly becomes viral, gaining the nickname Blue Shirt Guy, making him famous worldwide. He even shows up as an answer on one of America's quiz show, Jeopardy! The next day, Guy comes to the bank and persuades Buddy to join him after stealing sunglasses from a player who is doing a heist mission at the bank, but Buddy refuses to do so because he thinks it is too dangerous. Antoine realizes how popular Guy has become and instructs his employees to keep him in the game. Additionally, the company is also going to launch Free City 2 in 2 days, despite not being fully coded and still contains bugs. To make matters worse, he informs Keys that the new game is not backward compatible with the original, meaning most of the existing characters will not carry over to Free City 2. Molotov Girl returns to the safe house and manages to retrieve the stolen code. However, She is confronted by the guards and finds herself cornered. Just then, out of nowhere, Guy crashes through on a motorcycle, helping her take down the guards before they escape using a hang glider. Shortly after, the two spend time together, and to Molotov Girl's surprise, Guy correctly guesses her favorite ice cream flavor, bubblegum. She is impressed because nobody likes that flavor, and Guy manages to guess it right. It's just like he knows everything about Molotov Girl. They share a kiss before Millie disconnects from the game. Meanwhile, Keys notices something unusual in Free City's NPC codes. He tells Millie that Guy is not being controlled by a hacker. Instead, he is the first truly self-aware AI capable of making his own decisions. This proves that Antoine has stolen their code and implemented it to the Free City because their main idea for the game was to have the NPCs grow and develop over time as they adapt, and that is what Guy has been doing recently. Keys also warns Millie that the current world will be completely erased when Free City 2 is launched, which is 48 hours from now. Millie goes back into the game and reveals the truth to Guy that he is just a character inside a video game and does not exist in the real world, and he will be completely deleted if he doesn't help her. After knowing the truth, Guy feels so sad and runs to the beach. However, while standing there, he notices something unusual hidden beyond the shoreline, and he decides to help Molotov Girl. Guy then asks Buddy to go with him to the safe house where the stolen code is kept. Unexpectedly, the real-life player controlling the guard turns out to be a huge fan of Guy and is thrilled to meet him. He willingly allows Guy to take whatever he wants, and even asking Guy to kill him, but Guy refuses the request. He later brings the file to Millie. On the other hand, Guy's popularity has skyrocketed, and even popular streamers in real life are talking about him. When Antoine realizes this, he becomes angry, thinking that Guy's presence in the game will negatively impact the sales of Free City 2. Mouser suggests rebooting the system to return Guy to his default form. In the game, Guy and Millie manage to access a file showing an island which proves that Antoine stole their code. Guy claims he has seen this island before, but can't remember when or where. The game is rebooted before he can tell Millie where he saw it. After the reboot, Millie returns to the game, but Guy no longer remembers her as he's been restored to his default settings. Millie asks Keys for help, and he tells her that Guy was created to always be searching for his dream girl, and he just needs something to trigger the code. She decides to kiss Guy, and it brings back all of his memories, including where he saw the island. It turns out the island's image was reflected in the blinds of his apartment. From this, Keys deduces that the island is hidden beyond the city's horizon. Guy and Millie then gather all the NPCs in the game and tell them about the island across the city where they can move and act freely instead of following their coded behavior. The speech inspires the NPCs and they begin to act of their own will. With the NPCs gone, the city has become deserted, and the players are left confused and disoriented. Afterward, one of the employees shows Antoine a recording of Guy and Buddy retrieving the hidden file at the safe house. He realizes Millie's involvement and orders Mouser to eliminate them and kick them out of the game. He uses his power as the game developer to destroy Guy and Millie, while Guy is driving them outside the city. With Keys' help, a ramp suddenly appears, and they manage to escape. They arrive at the beach, but Keys is caught and fired from the company. Before leaving Antoine's room, Keys gives one last piece of help to the pair. He creates a bridge for them to safely cross the sea. On the other side, Antoine orders Mouser to start the game, which disconnects Molotov Girl and all the players. However, Keys secretly broadcasts Guy's actions live to all the Free City players, allowing them to continue watching him despite being disconnected. Antoine also commands his employees to deploy Dude, a bigger, stronger but dumber version of Guy, who is not fully programmed, but it is the final weapon of Antoine to get rid of Guy. Buddy arrives to help while Guy is being tossed around by Dude. Just before receiving the final blow, Guy manages to grab a pair of sunglasses and deploy a Captain America shield, which surprises Chris Evans, who is watching the live broadcast in a cafe. He also manages to summon Hulk's fist and a lightsaber. However, Dude is too powerful and keeps beating him until Guy places the glasses on Dude's face, allowing him to see the world the way Guy does. He and Buddy then run toward the island. Antoine starts to lose control and brings Mouser to the server room where he plans to destroy the server and delete the entire game. When Mouser realizes Antoine stole the Keys' codes, he stops helping him. So Antoine destroys everything with an axe, causing the city environment to be deleted, including the bridge. Unfortunately, Buddy is unable to make it to the end and is deleted from the game, but he tells Guy that this has been the best day of his life because of him. Guy continues to run and finally breaks through the barriers, reaching the island. This moment is broadcast to all the NPCs and players in the real world. Millie then confronts Antoine in the server room and makes a deal with him. She will let him keep the Free City name for sequels and spin-offs, but Antoine must allow her to have the original game code and stop destroying the server. Soon after, Free City 2 is launched, but it experiences a slump in sales due to numerous bugs and lagging online play, and as a result, Antoine is kicked out of the company. Meanwhile, Millie Keys and Mauser develop Free Life, a new game that brings all NPCs from Free City into it. Millie later watches a recording of Keys explaining that Guy's character is always destined to fall in love with Molotov Girl because the algorithm was based on Keys' own love for Millie. She realizes this and decides to approach Keys and kiss him. Back in the game, Guy and Dude finally become friends, and to everyone's surprise, Buddy is brought back to life in the game. What do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please hit the like and subscribe to the channel for more content.